What?
That's right. The days of the Snoop Tube star may be over. Due to the box office disaster of the high-pitch Hal, shirtless boy, and alien big brainian movie.
We gotta see that movie!
Johnny, be sure to hurry home from school. Tonight's meatloaf night. Where'd you get the limo?
Found it. Woohoo!
Why are you two so excited? You've already seen this movie like 16 times.
You don't understand. This isn't just any movie. This is Purple Space Cats from outer space in eyeball-tingling 3D. If it hasn't been 16 times, it's been 17.
If we see it a few more times, we'll have earned the Mega Popcorn Hot Dog Super Bucket.
With real artificial cheese sauce.
What could possibly be so amazing about a movie to justify seeing it 17 times? This movie is amazing! I want to see it 17 times.
Told ya.
Birds were singing and apples were ripening on the trees. It was a lovely day. "Hello, Trevor," said James. "You look as bright and cheerful as my red paint." "Oh, I am," replied Trevor. "What's that noise?" "It's the bees," laughed Trevor.
How cool is this movie?
Like I said before, it'd be cooler if this movie had a few purple dogs from outer space to keep the cats in check.
Let it go, dog.
Just then, Boko, the diesel engine, hummed in. "Take care, you two. Don't make the bees angry. They might sting you." James didn't like being told what to do by a diesel, and he buzzed away.
How cool is this movie?
Like I said before, it'd be cooler if this movie had a few purple dogs from outer space to keep the cats in check.
Let it go, dog.
Bill and Ben, the tank engine twins, were busy arranging cars, but they scampered off when they saw Boko. "I remember the first time I met those two," laughed Boko.
How
"They nearly made
cool
my
is this
eyes
movie?
Like I said before, it'd be cooler if this movie had a few purple dogs from outer space to keep the cats in check.
Let it go,
I
dog.
sometimes call them the bees." "A good name," replied Boko. "They're terrors when they start buzzing around." James bustled in. "What's that, Duck? Are you afraid of bees? They're only insects after all, so don't let that buzzbox diesel tell you different." "His name is Boko, and he didn't. I wouldn't care if hundreds were swarming around. I'd just blow smoke and make them buzz off." "Buzz, buzz, buzz," retorted
How
Duck.
cool is this movie?
Like I said before, it'd be cooler if this movie had a few purple dogs from outer space to keep the cats in check.
Keen to get
Let
on
it go,
board.
dog.
The platform was crowded, and the porter was in a hurry. "Mind your backs," he shouted. Then there was trouble. The beehive fell and broke open. The station cleared like magic. James heard a familiar buzzing. The bees were too cold to be cross, so they buzzed around the fireman, hoping he'd mend their hive. But he didn't understand, nor did his driver, so the bees turned to James. His boiler was nice and warm. Buzz off," hissed James. One bee burnt his foot. "Ooh, ooh." The bee thought James had burnt him on purpose. So it stung James right back on the nose. "Eee!" whistled James. He had had enough. So had his fireman driver.
Ew. Okay, maybe this part doesn't need to be in 3D.
Or any D.
Yeah,
They didn't
you never
notice
see a
till
space
too
dog
late that
doing
they
that.
left all their
Just saying.
coaches behind. They tried everything to get rid of the bees. First, they spun on the turntable, but to no avail. They tried washing them off, but the bees clung harder to James's warm boiler.
Ew. Okay, maybe this part doesn't need to be in 3D.
Or any D.
Yeah, you never see a
But
space dog
still,
doing
the
that.
bees wouldn't
Just
go
saying.
away. "It's no good, James," said his driver. "We'll just have to go back to the orchard and fetch another hive." James's reply was drowned by the sound of buzzing. The vicar was waiting anxiously for James. When he arrived, the bees swarmed straight into their new home. "Come on, James," said his driver. "What you need now is a good hose down." Later that evening, James was resting in the shed when the vicar came to see him. "Thank you for saving my bees," he said. "It's a pity it's not Christmas. Then we could call you James the Red-Nosed Injun." Everyone laughed, even James. But instead, they decided to call James the Bee's Knees, which means they
This
thought
movie
he
is
was
pretty
more
horrible,
useful
but you
than
were a
ever.
star in Snoop Tube, Johnny.
And now with this guitar, maybe I'll be a rock star.
Yeah, but save that for a later episode, okay?
You got it, Fuzzy Buddy.